There's a deep, dark, primal fear of the unknown, and this has led to the birth of many different phobias for a whole host of things. So I thought it'd be quite fun to take some phobias, turn them into dragons, and today we're going to be taking Astraphobia, Pyrophobia, Entomophobia, and Leguminophobia. And we're going to be turning them to dragons. So let's bring these illustrations to life. There be many a beastie in this world, dare I say in the vast universe, that can bring to life the fears of any man, woman, beast or child that encounters them. In fact, there is a place in the deepest, darkest regions of the world. 'Tis a place where creatures that dwell were good enough to be classed as some of Erronfold's favourite beasts. Ones that are the mightiest of beasts and often known as kings of their realms. What? Do you mean dragons? That's right, lad. These fine beasties are my favourite. However, there's one thing that is scarier than any beast you can encounter. There's a single name for this foul creature. A creature that can get into the hearts of all beings, find their weakness and feed on it to grow, in strength like a parasite. This beast goes by the name of Fear. Fear? It's Fear, right? Fear's the name of the thing that you're on about. It's definitely Fear. Yes, lad. A bit too smart for young good at times, aren't you? Anyway, back to what I was saying. This beast is Fear, and fear comes in many forms, shapes and sizes, leading to a vast mass of unique and deadly creatures. The first form of this fear is the dragon. That's been known to incite terror, shaking many to the core. This is to some an awe and wondrous act of nature, but to others it leaves many a sleepless night and makes even the biggest, toughest and bravest of men turn into scared, snivelling babies in the eyes of this dragon. It was perhaps a double-edged sword. This dragon inspires awe in some and petrifying fear in others. This beastie has a deprived and cruel sense of entertainment, and it's often found in the darkest skies, hiding in the clouds, flapping its wings in long and steady beats. The force of this is so loud that it creates a sound that's loud and echoes throughout the skies. Many believe this to be the sound of thunder, and some say gods in the heavens be angry. This is nothing but a wee fairy tale. The thunder sounds that crash for miles and miles in the sky is nothing more than this beastie flapping its wing with such a strength that the sound it makes is like two mountains crashing together. The sound travels for miles and resonates on a frequency that sends chills down the bones of those who are susceptible to this kind of thing. It may not seem that terrifying to you at the moment, but just wait for Erronfold here to finish off the story. So this dragon flies through the air, scanning for those who are alone and have the greatest fear of thunder and lightning, before tormenting them as the sound of the wings flapping gets louder and louder the closer it gets to its target. Usually the traveller or adventurer, like those rookies you get to see all over the land. Those poor souls who won't last more than a few hours in some of the situations out there in the world. Either way, if you see lightning getting brighter and brighter, hearing thunder getting louder and closer, the chances are this monstrous beast has eyes set on you. This beast circles in the air, the sound of thunder getting louder, the time between sound getting shorter as its wings flap, becoming quicker, firing rounds of lightning bolts down to increase the sense of fear that its target has, often striking close but not hitting its mark, causing them to become much more of a tastier meal the longer the torment and torture. Often dashing down so fast it appears to be a giant stream of lightning with a face heading towards its prey, then at the last moment using its incredible speed to disappear, leaving them shaking in pure terror. This dragon feeds on the fear of its prey and will wait until the fear is at its fullest before finally flying down and hoisting you up in the air in its lightning claws. Flying super fast with its captured target, it will then flap its wings, creating a thunderous noise to muffle and drown out the sounds of the poor soul who began to drain the life force out bit by bit as it flies off with them. 'Tis a fine beastie, this one, and one a few souls have been able to survive and encounter. A beastie who, if you haven't guessed it yet, is created from the fear of thunder and lightning. I find it rather relaxing, but it's worth mentioning there's many names for this fear. Astraphobia, Astraphobia, Entomophobia, Pyrophobia, or even Entomophobia. As such, this beauty also has a variety of names, But the most common name for this dragon is the astral quaker. This beastie is dark grey, almost black skin with silverish-like scales, and blue glowing lightning bolts over its body. The most distinctive feature of this menacing beast is the lightning bolt on its head. A fine beastie, and one that's a bit troublesome to slay, although 'tis on good old Erronfold's top list of beasts to defeat. Har! The next one is the most primal fear there is. Shared by every man, beast, demon, even gods have a fear of this rooted deep within their bones. And trust Erronfold when I say this, as beautiful and as majestic as this beast may look, it still induces fear no matter how wondrous those who are afraid think it is. It is one of those rare creatures that can draw you in towards it until the last second, when the wonder turns into pure terror. The irony of this is its victim, or shall I say prey, will be stuck in their tracks from the enchantment that this fear's true form in the shape of this beast, and the sheer terror of what this fear can do. Ol Erronfold here has seen many a brave and powerful adventurer turn from a pillar of power and awe into one with difficulty breathing, sweating and shaking to the bone, their mouths drier than a barren desert, even fainting like a rookie who wet their pants seeing their first beast. It's one of the more interesting creatures to deal with made out of fear. In fact, you might say this one has a burning passion for the fear it causes. Har! This beast is one that you wouldn't want to get up close and personal with, well, at least without having some form of protection from heat, let alone from what most of its body is covered in. There have been many a case where this demonic-like beast, have hunted managed to overcome their fear the more they were tormented. This allowed a few of these prey to escape the clutches of the beast, although not for the reason you might think. You see, they could run away after overcoming the fear, that part is true. But sometimes overcoming your fear isn't always a good thing. You see, this beast wants more and more people to realize the primal fear that dwells within each and every creature. One so echoed into the souls and bones that very few have been able to overcome it on their own. But that's not the point Ol Erronfold is telling you. This beast is smart enough to let some of its prey escape from time to time, to spread the word about its menacing form and abilities, increasing the fear, even if only in the back of one's mind. It is a fine tactic and trick to make your prey think about the terror you can bring into reality before it even has the chance to encounter you. And this beast which deals with, well, I think you should have guessed by now, given my clues and hints in this tale. This beast is made from the primordial giver and taker of life, fire. The fear this creature is made from is known as Pyrophobia, and is one of the deepest fears of all creatures. As I said before, all creatures and manners of beasts and whatnot know how deadly a creature this beast can be. As for the name of this beast, it's one that is fitting of its form. It is the Pyromantian drake. With 4 wings made out of fire, this beast can fly with ease. Not sure how, but it can fly fast and true. Flames coming out of its body, that's as black as night, though its underbelly is a paler colour. This beast does look majestic, but also deadly. But if you survive an encounter with a Pyromantian drake, you can tell good old Erronfold here what you think of this beastie. Maybe after these 2 fears, we should have a fear that's a bit on the irrational side and somewhat silly. At least in my eyes it is. That be said, Ol Erronfold is not making light of somebody who has a fear, as we all have some fear or some type of beastie or menace that chills us to the bone. This one, however, is not a fear I share, though I can see why this is a fear for most. It is a creepy one at that. This one is a kind of chimera of sorts, and I won't beat around the bush. It is one of the strangest looking dragon-type creatures I have to tell you about. That's because this one has the features of many a beast. Well, I say beast, it could class as a beast, but to be honest with you, it's more like a mix of multiple insect species. This creature, looking quite bizarre, is an expert in tormenting its victims. As the creature gets close to you, you can hear the clicking noise from its mandibles on its head, and you can hear from another direction the sound of insect wings flapping, or the noise of scraping and scratching. This has caused many a victim to fall into the realms of madness while being chased. Imagine having the crunching, clicking, scratching sounds following you with the sounds of humming and other such bone-shuddering and spine-chilling noises as the strange and bizarre creature chases you. Able to act calmly and patiently, this creature has a rather high level of intelligence. I know what you might be thinking, lad, but this form of beast in its core is a draconic creature despite looking like a chimera. It's still a dragon as far as we can tell. But wait, it's a bunch of insects. How the hell can it be a dragon? Confusing, I know, but it's true. Despite this, the beast is a dragon, not an insect. There may be many a strange and irrational creature in this world. That be for sure. Anyway, back to the tale of this creature, shall we say. In this world. Anyway, back to the tale of this creature, shall we say. 'Tis one that looks oh so insect-like, with the features of bugs. The strangest features is perhaps the eyes. They look like that of many insects, and it seems that they can see in the dark with far and few blind spots. A tough hide, perhaps the toughest hide of any dragon or beast known to man. This is one of the least fearsome ones in my eyes, but fair being fair, I think there be many a man, beast or child that would be terrified by a giant bug-like creature, let alone one that has the features of multiple bugs and insects, that could put fear in the bones of any souls it goes against. Maybe it's a bit of karma for those who are tuned to crushing bugs underfoot. Oh yes, as for the name of this beast, it's based on the fear of, well, Entomophobia. Bit of a mouthful if you ask Ol Erronfold, so I decided I'll call this one Bug Mirror. Okay, that's perhaps one of the strangest fears I've heard of, but I don't think you can top it, can you? I mean, a chimera of bugs. Bugs are creepy though, but that was just weird and strange. Well, lad, I guess the next one is one that you have to decide if you believe it's a beastie that is real, or Ol Erronfold pulling your leg. Open your ears and listen closely to what you think. Same as the rest of you all listen to this tale. There exists a creature in this world that's a rather strange makeup. 'Tis a dragon by all means, but it's one of the strangest abilities of any dragon I've heard of. This creature is solid most of the time, but instead of breathing fire, this creature excretes and can breathe out a blast of baked beans. Baked beans? You've got to be kidding me, right? You're telling me there is a phobia, fear dragon of baked beans? You're making this up. You've got to be making this up. I'd add beans. Well, baked beans. 'Tis a fear known as Leguminophobia. A strange and irrational fear of baked beans. Not sure if it's really a fear of the sauce or the bean itself, but there are few in this world who don't only dislike the taste of beans, but have a fear of seeing anything to do with them. I have to say, my first reaction was similar to yours, but I did laugh. Well, that was till I found out 'tis a real fear. Being a bit mean though, I have teased a few adventurers who have a fear of baked beans. Obviously in jest, but now that I think about it, was a bit mean to do so. Funny though, really funny though. Either way, you can imagine my surprise when I heard tale of a beastie that had something to do with baked beans. This dragon has a scale-like armor and dark colour skin. The skin changes colour to being like orangey red, and from its mouth it can spray what can be best described as a mouthful of baked beans at its victim. I mean, imagine being covered in the slimy bean-like sauce and the beans you're afraid of. Being covered in your fear is one thing, but covered by a slimy version of it. 'Tis enough to make Ol Erronfold here feel for you. Well, to a small degree. Seeing someone covered from head to toe in baked beans, now that would be a funny sight. A sight that I can laugh at time and time again. I mean, seriously, it would look pretty funny. Well, that is kind of a bit mean. If the person has that as a fear, what's the fear called? That Leguminophobia or something like that? That's a bit mean. I mean, I can see the funny side. That's a bit cruel. True, I cannot argue with what you said, lad. But on the other hand, not many would believe there's a beast to do with baked beans out there, let alone a dragon to do with it. Though there was a creature from another dimension that a pal of mine, Nexum, did have to make an armor from. I guess it's true what they say. Ignorance is bliss. And the minute you know about something, you tend to hear about it everywhere you go. How about you let me know if you think this beastie is real or not? Oh, and as for the name of this beastie, Tuss the Legumino Wyvern, although I prefer to give it the nickname of Old Beanigan.
How do you guys think Phobias Dragons came out? I had a lot of fun on this episode. Seriously, it was a nice change of pace and I've been wanting to do something with Phobias for a while. I think all the artwork came out really well. I'm really pleased with it. I am biased. But I'm interested to see what you guys think we should do as more Phobias, or what we could do with Phobias on the channel. Maybe this is the start of a new series, who knows? Today is the deadline on this month's community redraw, so I hope you've all got your submissions in. Also, if you liked this episode, why not check out some of my other dragon episodes? I've got turning My Hero Academia characters into dragons, I've got some Ben 10 aliens as dragons, and a whole host of other crossover lore type stuff on the channel. Anyway, stay safe everybody, catch you next time.